Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to another Sandbox experiment. Today we're finally going to finish off the bear party that we started in the mountains, and so far it's been a pretty good success. We now have 3 different types of bears sitting in the grasslands, and we're only missing the ever-elusive balance bear of the cliffs. Bella is trying her best to call one down, but I think we're probably going to have to wait until it starts to snow. So it might be a few more days until you can finally see your very favorite bear here, Bella, but she's not going to give up. I guess the balanced bears are just a little bit more shy than the other creatures. Or they might have trouble getting around when it's so hot. But we have our own troubles to deal with over here. The bear Yina and the defender bear have come to a bit of a disagreement. It doesn't seem like the bear Yina is going to last very much longer either. Basically, because the bear Yina has been attacking Dawn, the defender bear is looking to chase him out of the territory. And if this keeps progressing like this, I think the bear Yina is going to be banished from the party by the next turn. But one of you had a pretty good question for the defender bear, and that's whether or not these termite hills are also going to cause it to get angry. When we crack these open to get the bugs inside, it actually does have the same attacking icon as if we were attacking a bear Yina or a bunny. So I'm not really sure what the defender bear is going to think. I do definitely want to test that out though, so once this whole situation is blown over and the defender bear isn't quite so distracted, we'll come back to one of these termite hills and we'll see what he thinks. Then of course we have the peaceful bear situation, and I am so embarrassed about this. It turns out when we thought the peaceful bear was protecting our babies, when we thought we had paid him to be our babysitter, he was actually not happy with our tribe at all. The nesting material we had given him had completely worn off, so he's not part of our tribe anymore. He's not protecting us. The only reason why the icon was gray was because we didn't have enough nesting material to use. So we have to head over there quickly and pay him again. I guess we should probably wait until our families are ready to have a few more babies though. And of course, again, that's going to be after this bear Yina is dealt with, and after Bella returns from her mission to find the balance bear. I guess for now, we might as well have her pick up some of these twigs. Some actual payment for her babysitter. She has to be feeling just as embarrassed as I am right now. Imagine paying your babysitter late, and clearly this is not one that you want to mess around with. You don't pay the peaceful bear and he might just feed your babies to the Bluebirds. I have a feeling that awkward baby is probably going to be a little bit too old by the time we're ready to set him up by a nest, so we'll just have to have a brand new baby between Bella and Dawn. Or perhaps a brand new baby between Yuna and this squirrel over here. Alec the squirrel, while he is rather sick, he is clearly quite smitten with our little lady bear Yina. I think right now he reminds her a little bit too much of Perry, and these two have never been able to see eye to eye. So maybe as an attempt to get him to run away, to frighten him away, she might slash away at these poison berry bushes. Our tribe doesn't have a way to use them anyway, so there's no point in keeping them around. And it even gives us a little bit of extra nesting material too. But it doesn't seem like your plan worked. Alec is just staring you down. It's actually a little bit unfortunate because there is the possibility that he could make her sick. And that is not a good way to get on her good side, I'm afraid. But I think we might be ready to skip the turn again. We want Dawn to stay right here after all. Not only to protect his baby from the bear Yina, and perhaps that eerie crabbit lurking in the background too. But we want to see if the bear Yina will continue to attack him, and thus have the defender bear continue to attack it. So let's go ahead and skip the day and see what happens. Oh, wait a second. Oh my gosh, I forgot I still had the increased spawn rates. Yet another bear Yina in your path, Dawn. Well, the good news is the defender bear made some very quick work of this bear Yina, so that's one less threat that you'll have to worry about. But we do have another bear Yina in our midst now, so we might want to scooch you guys a little bit further away. Ah, and our little devil is still down here trying to steal our berries too. I almost forgot about you. Well, let's have Dawn maybe push his baby over here, as far away from the bear Yina as you can get. Gosh, I guess you're going to have to stay right in between them, aren't you? If the bear Yina scoots onto this tile, he could probably just take little awkward baby out in one single hit. We've already had one heartbreak with Nietzsche in the nest. We don't need them losing another baby. And you, Bella, you found another defender out here too. This must only remind her of her mate, of course. Maybe this would be a good reason for her to turn back so we can have a few more babies between them. Makes me wonder if maybe the defender bears are searching for some balance bears out here in the cliffs. Oh, and our squirrel finally moved away? Oh, is that because he got you sick? That icon does not look good, Yuna. Oh no, you did catch his cold. Oh my gosh, he must be so ashamed. Returning back to his old tree. And you're probably thinking, good riddance, huh? She doesn't want to admit that she felt any flutter in her heart over the little squirrel. I guess we could have her clear out some of the grass over here, then maybe scoot over to the other poisonberry bush to hack that one down too. Picking up that grass will allow her to find the nest in the future, if perhaps she does change her mind. But Perry is probably the most oblivious creature out of everyone in this tribe, and he's found himself in a pretty opportune location too. He has grass, he has flowers, he has berries. I don't think he's going to be moving from this area anytime soon. But you know, if our peaceful bear isn't going to be the babysitter that we need, then I guess Perry probably could be. Right next to a permanent nest, in between all the rocks. There's really not too much that could harm a baby if it's stuffed away inside this nursery. So that is another opportune location for you as well, Bella, if perhaps this next experiment doesn't go so well. So we'll have you scoot on over here, leaving the defender bear in the cliffs, and come on over to your mate's side perhaps? Oh, can we have him breed with you on this turn? I mean, maybe if he jumps over here. Though before we do that, I did actually want to take a look at her mutation menu, because I realized that we're never actually going to see the mask on their babies. They would always be guaranteed to have the dots, because it's a little bit more dominant than the mask. So maybe just for the possibility of seeing unique markings on them, we'll place the mask in her mutation menu. I guess we might as well place that into both slots. That way it'll be a little bit more likely that we'll see them. After all, we've already seen 2 babies with the dots. And it'll be more like a mix between both of the bears this way. So we should be ready to skip the turn again. And I would imagine that the bear Yina is probably going to go after you, Dawn. So we might have another situation on our hands. Oh, it looks like the bear Yina actually made you bleed that time? Oh, the bear Yina chipped through your defense. I mean, that wasn't the defender bear, was it? It couldn't have been. The defender bear is definitely hurting the bear Yina now. Well, our sweet little awkward baby seems to be all grown up, at least with his second gem. So maybe you could very kindly help your father with those wounds. I guess even a tank like him isn't completely invincible. That's gotta be a real eye-opener for little awkward baby, who probably saw his father in the same light as these defender bears, a literal superhero of the mountains. Though I guess with all the drama surrounding his sister's death, that would be weighing heavy on his mind too. But things are going to be different now, right, Bella? If we set you up right next to the peaceful bear, you should be able to not only pay the babysitter, offer up those 3 pieces of nesting material, and that means the peaceful bear is replete now, right? Ah, yeah, there we go. This animal is replete. So that means he's technically part of our tribe now. He's working for us rather than against us. So if you go ahead and place down your nest right here, I'm going to assume that the peaceful bear is going to stay right by your side too. And now that awkward baby is in a little bit less danger, we could probably bring him over to the other side of the termite mound. Right up to our little devil. And do I see that you've taken a berry? Yep, there is definitely a berry missing on that bush. Well, we know better than to go attacking you right now. We're not going to chase him off just yet. But I suppose we could bring Dawn down to this tile. I don't really want to lose the bear Yina. I still want to see if the defender bear is angry. But at the same time, I'm curious if it'll be scared off now, if there's nobody directly next to it to attack. And then it looks like all we have left is you, Yuna. You and your squirrel, who has come out again to apologize to you, it seems. You know, honestly, you've gotten over your sickness now, and it's pretty clear that he's not afraid of you. That must be a bit of a new feeling for her. Even her own tribe mates have kind of kept her at an arm's length because they're afraid of her short temper. But this little squirrel, even though he's seen what she can do to the poison berry bushes, he has absolutely no fear. So why don't we go ahead and break our rule, offer Alec a little bit of extra food so we can invite the squirrel in. A squirrel amongst bears. You better make sure that the rest of the tribe doesn't find out, granted as Perry peers over from his berry bush. It seems like he doesn't really care at all. He's probably just happy that grumpy old Yuna has finally opened her heart to somebody. But I've gotta admit, I did also wonder if Alec was just looking for somebody to perhaps keep his tree safe. Because he is not exactly the strongest of individuals. He has a 2 in strength thanks to his big body, of course. That would be just enough to catch a few moles, offer up some food. But if any bears did encroach upon his territory, he would basically be out of luck. Oh my gosh, and I just remembered. Oh my gosh, Alec, there is a defender bear right out here somewhere. Oh my gosh, do you think they saw him attack that mole? I think that the attack has to be done within the defender bear's range. So as long as you're far enough away, then you're good. Otherwise, this might actually be why he recruited you, Yuna. You might actually have to take down a defender bear next. I mean, I guess that would be a pretty good experiment too, to see if it's even possible. With their 5 in defense, yeah, that would be a pretty difficult task. You might actually have to raise a little army of your own to make it happen. But let's go ahead and skip the day again, as Bella has her next baby, and as hopefully the peaceful bear stays right here. Ooh, I think the defender bear may have left us. He's going off in a different direction. So it seems to me our plan may have worked. We may have successfully scared off the bear Yuna too. Just in time for this new little baby. Oh my gosh, this new little baby who looks like he has quite the cold. Like a red stuffy nose. Oh, little Blue. What an adorable name. And he actually has the nimble fingers too, so he's the perfect balance for his warrior brother. Awkward and Blue. That's an interesting naming theme that you have going on. I wonder if Bella is just truly that heartbroken over Nietzsche. I mean, it was a pretty traumatic event. And now we're about to test it again. So let's just double check and make absolutely sure this animal is replete. So we've already given him the nesting material. The peaceful bear is definitely watching over our tribe right now. So Bella, we'll have you scoot back here. Maybe trying to find a few more of those flowers, so she won't make the same mistake twice. And Dawn perhaps is feeling a little bit conflicted about this little devil who's just stealing their food. So as we move him down a tile, we'll see if the bluebird comes after the baby. Okay, it looks like the bluebird is turning away. That's a much better sign than what we saw before. I mean, before the bluebird made a direct beeline for little Nietzsche. So let's have Perry pick his berries, pick up the flowers. He's turning toward us now, but I'm not sure. That might just be a fluke. I guess we could have Awkward coming over to this side. Gosh, is the bluebird actually leaving us alone now? Well, maybe this does warrant a little bit more research. We might have a new babysitter after all. I'm just leery to say that it's definitely working because I know these bluebirds can be very, very tricky. Like maybe if the baby isn't actually in its line of sight, it won't go toward it or something. If you guys watched Adam's Quest, then you know just how much trouble we had getting these bluebirds to go after our babies. We were using them kind of as bait before because we so desperately needed the food. But they wanted nothing to do with our tribe. So I'm going to keep a very, very close eye on the situation, but we'll finish off the rest of our turns and we'll see where the bluebird ends up. Now, I guess we could do, since it seems like the bear Yuna is long gone. I don't even see it out here as a silhouette. Oh! Oh, Perry, you've made another friend out here. Oh, maybe this peaceful bear could be the one protecting the tree? I mean, I do see the defender bear seems to be looking your way now, so you may have actually caught its attention. You might need a little bit more muscle around here if you want to keep yourself safe. So we'll have to keep an eye on you too. But yeah, let's go ahead and have Awkward Baby crack open the termite hill. Oh, you poor thing, you're gonna be all itchy now too. We'll bring Dawn over here to lick off the bugs for you. That way you won't take any extra damage. And we'll see if the Defender Bear takes offense to you destroying Termite City. I guess it does sound rather brutal if you put it that way. He's literally destroying all of the hard work that these termites have built up. I guess he's just living up to his name though. Maybe he's a little bit too clumsy with that big mammoth foot of his, so he misjudged his step and completely destroyed the tower. Now all we have left to do is figure out this situation right here. With the Defender Bear looming in the darkness, maybe it would be a good idea for you, Yuna, to scoot your way up here too. You could clear out some of the grasses just so you can get around a bit more easily, and nudge Alec down to the acorns perhaps, so he can gather the food. For the most part, I just want to see if the Defender Bear is still going to give chase, if it truly did notice him, or if perhaps it was just a little bit distracted by its bunny friends. So we should be ready to skip the turn again? With the Bluebird way up here at the tallest peaks, nowhere near our baby. And the only difference is our babysitter actually got paid ahead of time. So we'll zoom in on Awkward Baby this time. Keep a very close eye on the Defender Bear and see if he turns around. Oh my goodness. I think the Defender Bear is still going after that Bearina instead. Oh my gosh, he is literally running this Bearina in circles too, you poor thing. Well, there's no rest for the Bearinas anymore. No rest for the wicked. But now I'm not sure if the Bearina messed up our experiment, or if the Defender Bear doesn't care that we've knocked down these termite hills. So I guess that's something that we're still going to have to experiment with. That being said, Mr. Defender Bear up here, standing directly on top of your bunny burrow? Are you protecting the home of your rabbit friends, or are you trying to find Alec? This is definitely not a good sign for you, Yuna, and I'm sure you are feeling very much on edge right now. Before we move them though, I just want to check again. Are we for sure good with this peaceful bear? Come on over here, Bella. Make sure that he's still replete. Yep, it looks like he's still fine, so the babysitter is still on the job. And now with 2 bluebirds in our skies, this turn might finally answer our question. So in the meantime, Yuna, you have clearly realized that you need to raise an army still. And since we have access to Alec's mutation menu, let's go ahead and place the Bearina snout in, so we can hopefully still have some little bear babies in the nest too. Otherwise, I think we would probably only see the derp snout, maybe the short snout if we're lucky, but this will keep our baby as strong as can be. So for the sake of science, yet again, we'll bring her over here, and we'll have Alec scoot over to the nest. That will bring him much, much closer to the Defender Bear too, so we'll be able to tell if he's truly going after Alec or not. Then I guess you guys can go ahead and take care of the grass. And is that Bluebird getting closer to the nest? Hang on a second. This one right here seems to be swooping awfully close. Do you think maybe it's finally caught sight of our baby? Oh no. Okay, back up the cliffs. Crisis averted, alright. Our peaceful bear is still doing its job. Yeah, I'm definitely leaning on the positive side for the peaceful bear now. Surely the Bluebird would have noticed the baby at that distance. It would be nice if we had a way to get the peaceful bear to follow us. It truly seems like they just sit down wherever we pay them, and they only move around when their nesting material is thrown. So there's no way to lure it to a new location, and you basically just have to make your base wherever the bear is. But since it does seem to be such a powerful ally, I guess I can understand the balance for that. Now, looks like you finished off another one of the Bearinas. That was the only creature who was attacked, right? So much was going on that it was kind of hard to see. The Defender Bear up here seems to be done with you, Alec. So I guess it never did see you catch that mole? Or it just wants nothing to do with all of your Bearina babies. I mean, this is quite the imposing sight. We have Dillis and we have Cardinal in the nest. Little Cardinal even has his father's nimble fingers, which will be great for acorn collecting. And meanwhile, the imposing and very, very sneaky Dillis will be able to tiptoe past all of the Defender Bears as he catches his meals. Honestly though, I still don't think this army would be big enough. Even after the babies grow up, I think we would need more warriors to take the bear down for good. But I'm starting to wonder if maybe Bella and Dawn should go seek out a different, more secluded area to start their family. Given the fact that the balanced bear is clearly so very shy. Maybe all of this commotion is just too much for them. But that does mean putting our full trust in this peaceful bear now. So Dawn, as you make your way past, maybe you could check up on him again? Or I suppose we could have Perry do it, if he can worm his way around all of these rocks and whatnot. I think the peaceful bear actually came over here to pick the berries too. I was curious about that. Maybe that's why they've set up right next to so many of these berry bushes. Oh no, you're not going to have time either? Alright Bella, I guess it's going to have to be you after all. And good thing we checked. It looks like you need to pay the babysitter again. So now we can have you guys start making your way up the cliffs, leaving your baby behind with the peaceful bears to be raised in their capable paws. Perry still has a 1 day's worth of energy too, so if anything does go terribly wrong, at least we can have him swoop in and save the day. Now, Mr. Defender Bear, would you mind too terribly if we picked up that meat under your feet? I'm going to assume that you'll be okay with that. I mean, honestly, if we had a pacifist challenge running, this would be a great way for us to gather food. We could just wait for the Defender Bear to take care of all the problems for us, and then claim all of the meat as a reward. To be honest though, I'm not sure if having them around would have been better or worse for Adam's quest. I mean, I guess every time we attacked a Bluebird too, that would also probably set off the Defender Bear. It's still another creature of the mountains. We probably would have had to turn on them to keep us full, which kind of makes me wonder, how much food do you think a Defender Bear would give us? I would assume they're probably like the apes of the jungle, and I want to say that they give us 30 food, right? I've never actually taken down. Oh, did you see that? I've never actually taken down an ape in the jungle myself, but I'm pretty sure it was either 30 or 10. Little awkward baby, what on earth? So was he actually offended by the termite hill after all? It just took him a really, really long time to get to you, and I guess that's because he was chasing that Perina around in circles. Or it could have been because of the meat? Oh my gosh, now I'm so confused. Alright, well, go ahead and crack this open again, and then we'll see what happens. Thankfully, this one grew back in a much friendlier state. These are just the normal, peaceful termites, not the itchy ones from before. So that's one small victory. He was probably just so startled by this Defender Bear attacking him that he accidentally flattened this tower again. Poor little awkward baby just can't seem to catch a break. Now what are we going to do with you, Perry? I guess we might as well bring you back. The baby is probably going to grow up pretty soon anyways, and that bird seems to be staying very far away. So Bella and Dawn, you can pretty safely make your pilgrimage over to that other permanent nest. We'll have you settle down by the trees, and hopefully this secluded area will be enough to inspire a balanced bear to join you. This is pretty interesting though. It's almost like the Defender Bear is staring down the peaceful bear right now. Not sure what you two would have to argue about. I would imagine that these two would actually be some pretty good friends. Peaceful Bear wants nothing to do with harming his friends after all, so they're both protectors in their own way. But we should pay him some nesting material for sure, because I know that this Defender Bear is not going to cut it with the Bluebirds, and this Bluebird has been very, very persistent. It seems like it has a taste for berrinas, and no care at all for little Blue. I bet you never ever thought that you would get this close to a peaceful bear either. Yuna always found Perry to be a little bit unnerving, so I'm sure she thought the same of his bear company. But I guess things have changed now that she's the mother, and now that she has little lives to protect. So as we scoot Alec off to the sides so he hopefully doesn't infect too many other creatures, I think even the babies are sick now. Poor Cardinal, poor Dillas. Yuna has gotten over her cold again, but the rest of them were not so lucky. Let's go straight over to you, Awkward. I want to see what's going to happen to you. He's still bleeding, unfortunately, from the previous attack. Maybe little Blue could help him once he grows up. He's 4 days old now, and I did increase the life of the baby's lifespan so we could experiment with the birds more. Oh, awkward. There's our answer, though. That's what we were looking for. Attacking the termite hill was literally the only thing that awkward baby did on that turn, so I can only assume that that's the reason why the defender bear turned on him. So even the termites aren't safe for us to use when the defenders are watching. That's actually going to be a pretty interesting challenge then. Most of the things that we would go after for sources of food are going to make these creatures angry. So if we're not really careful, like Alec was when he took care of that mole, our entire tribe could be wiped out by the bears. I'm kind of curious to see if maybe Luna could come over here and take care of this mole too. She would still be able to watch our babies. Let's see how far the defender bear can sense. He has a 5 in eyesight, a 3 in hearing, a 5 in smelling. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He would probably notice. He would come right after you, Yuna. That's why I'm so surprised that he didn't even notice Alec before. Maybe it has a little bit to do with camouflage? Or even something to do with the distasteful scent. He does have the stinky tail, and even the distasteful appearance from the derp snout. Ooh, I wonder if that's why then. You know, the Baryena snout gives them a distasteful appearance as well. Maybe this would actually still work. Well, first we need to get them all in the right position, so go ahead and pick your berries. Pick up that extra nesting material, which we'll definitely need now. Looks like we're getting pretty low again. I guess we'll have Bella make her way to the nest, and one more turn out to do the trick. That way the mole definitely won't be able to see Yuna as she jumps behind it and pulls it out of the ground. So will their distasteful appearances be enough to deter the defender bear from attacking? That is the question. I guess that's just the one thing that Awkward was missing. I did notice too that we appear to have another Baryena down here with our devil, so I wonder if that'll even work if the Baryena decides to attack a wanderer. He has bunnies over here too. Plenty of opportunities for a Baryena to get an easy meal, but Defender Bear is always watching, and surely the snow is just around the corner too. Another 7 days and the bear party is still going strong. But Bella is tucked away in her nest, eager to watch their family grow again, and this time the 2 happy parents will be taking care of their baby all by themselves. No peaceful bears around to babysit anymore. So let's skip the day beneath Bella's tree and see if the Defender Bear is going to turn for her? Wait a second. Oh my gosh, why did you attack Alec? He had nothing to do with that. Oh my gosh, does that mean the Defender Bear goes after anybody in our tribe? Guys, I am so confused by this bear now. The Defender Bear makes no sense to me. So, was that just a retaliation for the mole from before? Like he just finally caught up to him? But then how could that be? We set them up side by side just a couple of turns ago. Oh my gosh, I am so confused. Here I thought that this was going to end it, and I am more confused than ever before. And lo and behold, the Jonaminko has even migrated here from a distant island. Will our little bears ever get some rest? And will our little bears ever see the balance bear for that matter? Well, at least you two have had some pretty adorable twins. Oh my gosh, this one almost looks like a little panda. Those must be the panda patterns. Oh, Jojo. What a cute name for you. Jojo and Mo? That is too cute. Jojo and Mo, the bear twins of the cliffs. Still waiting eagerly to catch a glimpse of the elusive balance bear. So I know I said that was going to be the end of the bear party, but no, I think we still have a few more questions to answer. Mostly about these defender bears now. We did learn some new things though. The peaceful bears have redeemed themselves as the babysitters of our tribe, and this one has even hand-raised Blue. So just like before, let me know if you guys have any questions about the bears and their behavior. Now that we've learned that the termite hills also set the bears off, that takes away yet another potential food source for unprepared tribes. I mean, if you're not ready to soak up the damage that they cause, whether through healing or other means, that would be one seriously brutal attack. So I guess the only safe sources of food we would have are berry bushes, And roots, too. I wonder if they even get cranky if we go after fish. Well, either way, in the next episode, I think what I'm going to do is play off camera until our first snowfall. That way the balance bears will be sure to spawn, and we can add them into this crazy mix stew. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!